IPv6. Why should you care? There's plenty of confusion and hype surrounding IPv6, but perhaps the worst aspect of all of this is that it's being sometimes described as the next Y2K bug, causing companies to dismiss it out of hand. Let's get something straight. IPv6 is not a scare tactic generated by IT gurus hidden in dark rooms trying to generate a new cash flow stream from organizations already under tight budgets. IPv6 is about growth, expansion, and future-proofing the public internet, which is exploding at a rate that far outgrows the current communications protocol known as IPv4. IPv6 is also about the enablement of organizations all over the world to have the potential to do business with every person and every device connected to the internet. Presently, there are 5.3 billion mobile device users in the world. Much of this growth is driven by emerging markets such as China and India. As each of these mobile devices becomes a smartphone, they become potential internet users and also potential customers. Considering that there are only 4.3 billion addresses available in IPv4, it's easy to see how the growth of the internet is inhibited by the current protocol. Currently, Network Address Translation, or NAT, provides a solution by allowing companies to reuse private IP address spaces and multiplex the many internet connections to single public IP addresses. However, NAT within ISPs needs high-end networking devices, and the ISPs need to constantly keep reinvesting in these devices as more and more mobile users become internet aware. Looking at the above, it's hardly surprising that mobile service providers operating on tight profit margins will be part of the initial transitional companies to move to IPv6. They'll be joined by emerging markets such as China, Korea, Japan, and other large Asian markets. So the question most CIOs are currently asking is, what does this mean to me? The answer to this is, at present it probably doesn't mean too much, unless you're in a business which heavily involves transactions with Asia or mobile device users. However, without a clear and detailed transition plan that's linked to key business outcomes, as more services become purely IPv6 based, your organization's ability to grow into these new markets, or simply to continue as normal, will be severely inhibited. So getting into IPv6 is a definite, not a maybe. It's a question of when and how, and every business will need to move towards IPv6 in some form over the next few years. Logicalis' approach is to provide a framework and help customers to align IPv6 migration with business needs and strategies. The key benefit is that if a structured approach is taken, you alleviate the need for a big bang, last-minute configuration change, which brings with it a high level of risk and potential costs and outages. We start with a workshop, which is an initial introduction to IPv6 and its relevance to your business. We then introduced our methodology to transitioning to IPv6 using a structured and measured approach. Logicalis delivered the first IPv6 Dynamic Multipoint Virtual Private Network, or DMVPN, in Australia for Monash University, enabling them to deliver services to local and remote branches. For those more technically minded, it uses OSPF v3, OSPF for IPv6 as a routing protocol, as well as extended IPv6 and v4 multicast traffic out to the branches and buses. We configured a mobile dynamic multi-point VPN between the Monash campus and remote sites and locations. The remote sites were either small offices or buses that would transit between the Monash University campus. This solution allowed us to extend IPv6 natively out to these sites whilst using the existing IPv4 public internet. It allowed users on buses to be able to use IPv6 to communicate with any of the services within Monash, or use IPv4 to browse the internet. Technically, IPv6 offers very little that IPv4 cannot do presently. However, it does offer your business a chance for continual growth and expansion into areas that are developing rapidly at present, and also the chance to have a business edge on some of your competitors. So speak to Logicalis to learn more about IPv6. We can provide you with some general advice, and we have a range of consultancy offerings to help you determine and undertake the transition to IPv6 in the most appropriate way. Logicalis is an international IT solutions and managed services provider with broad expertise in communications and collaboration, data center and cloud services, and managed services. Our focus is on using technology to enable our customers to improve their business outcomes.